Shalom everyone, Shmuel here. We are now happy to announce that we got the news and the next president will be in the US, Donald Trump. We are excited here in Judea and Samaria for many reasons. I'll try to explain to you what we have felt in the last 4 years, and maybe some of you will find it similar. It's one and simple thing. The other day, my son came to me in school after school and told me that he got punished. Every week in schools in Israel, they have what we call an achtava. They learn words in English and they get tested on it. And this time, this week, they didn't get one list, they get two lists. Why is that? And he told me because the new teacher, the new English teacher, is a newbie. He just came a couple of months ago after learning to be a teacher, and he's not strong enough. He's not holding the class together. And this week, as they were pranking him, laughing at him, didn't listen to him, did whatever they did like kids do, the actual teacher, the one who's with them all day, came and saw. And he said, "What? This is the way you behave? Not only you're going to respect your teacher, you always also going to get punished and you're going to receive another list of words to learn." And he came to me and he asked me or said to me and announced it is not fair. And I told him, of course it is fair. It's fair because you should respect your teachers. And because this is a new teacher, you cannot behave the way you behave. I'm not talking to him specifically, but as a class. But you see, that's the world. That's the way people are. When there's not a leader, when there's nobody in charge, when there's nobody there to control the classroom, it will be a mess. In the last 4 years, the feeling was there wasn't a teacher. It started with the war in the Ukraine and Russia. It continued to what we experienced here on the 7th of October. The feeling was that there was nobody in charge. Now, don't get me wrong. I do believe, and I know that you believe, that God is in charge of everything. It's not that we put our trust on a human being, one or another, but there was a feeling that the biggest emperor right now at this time, the US, who are a very strong ally of Israel, wasn't there standing for us. It came with criticism from the beginning of the war. It came with basically warning us they're not going to provide us what we needed to fight the war. In reality, we felt in Israel throughout this time that we were pressured. And I can tell you, on a very personal level, the fact that they are Israelis living in Judea and Samaria and their bank account were freezed in the US was a symbol, was a sign that there wasn't a teacher in class to take care of the business and to control what happened there. In the world we're living in right now, I don't know where the future is going to take us. We need a strong president that's going to stand alongside Israel. Now, Donald Trump, we know is a loose cannon. We know that his words are going places sometimes that are not something we got used to. But we know one other thing. This is not expectation. This is not something we estimate. This is reality. And that's a proven track record of supporting Israel. In the last presidency, he moved the embassy to Jerusalem. He recognized the Golan Heights. And he did so much, including the Abraham Accords, to show that he is a friend of Israel. In the last years, when it didn't happen, we felt it. And not only we felt that, I want to say that one of the reasons, and President Trump said that the 7th of October started, maybe also because they knew the teacher was gone. Let's make a mess. So what do we hope to happen right now? As we are entering this new time, and we see huge numbers of people voting and supporting President Trump, especially people that are coming from our database, our people, Christians that are loyal to God and loyal and love their country and love their Bible. We hope that the people that are going to surround President Trump are going to be our people that support the biblical heartland of Israel, that support our existence in the land. If it's previous ambassador David Friedman, who just wrote a book about annexing the land and making this one Jewish state, we believe full-heartedly that our history And what brought us here is showing and bringing people at the right place at the right time to their positions. It came throughout history that when great people were there on the spot, from President Truman and many other commanders and loyal friends of Israel that weren't Jewish, but when they were there on the chair, getting the decision based on their belief system, Israel was there on their heart. The famous story about President Truman was that one of his close friends from the past, before he was president, was a Jewish person. And when Israel was established, and there were a lot of negotiation there of how America will recognize, how the US will recognize Israel, this friend came to President Truman and told him, "You need to meet my friend, Mr. Chaim Weizmann." The president told them, "Enough, leave me alone. I know he's going to pressure me." And he begins to cry. He begins to cry and he says to him, "You have people that you look up to, you respect them. This is a person I respect. Please allow him to speak with you." We know the rest of history. 12th minute, was it? After the establishment of Israel, the US recognized the state of Israel to be. That's what I'm saying. At this crucial moment in time, God himself puts President Trump on the spot. We hope and we pray that at the second time he's there, he can do more things. He can bring the right people around him. He can bring the power we need to support what happened here. He needs to stop the war. He needs to help the people of Israel continue or finish whatever they're planning in Lebanon and Gaza, bring back our hostages, and start fresh. Show that there's somebody in charge. Show that you are a true friend of Israel. Show that you will always going to be on their right and you will never stop them of fighting and existing in their land. We hope and we pray that the land of Israel, and especially Judea and Samaria, is going to be at the first command and the first priority for the president or for the people around him. And we pray that God will send them the right advice, and he will be a good president for Israel and for the world, and it's going to be the feeling that a new teacher came to class. Now, as I said, don't get me wrong, it's all in God's power, but we need good people to be in the right places to fight God's will in the world. That's the news from Israel. That's the news from the US. Only good news from us here, and we wish us all only the best.